Good morning, bookworms. It's Jade from Bedtime Bookworm, and welcome back to my channel. This is the start of my week 9 currently reading vlog. So it's about 9 a.m. and I'm on my way to work. And to be honest, I haven't been reading a whole lot lately. The past 2 nights, I've actually gone to bed without reading at all, which I rarely ever, like maybe one night a week I won't read before bed because I'm just like too tired, but hardly ever 2 nights in a row do I do that. But I'm having kind of a busy week at work. There's like a bunch of my coworkers who live across the country are in town for like trainings and stuff. So like last night I went to a happy hour event and I've just been kind of busy with work stuff, and by the time I went to bed I was just like really tired the past 2 nights and I didn't read anything. I'm actually only reading 2 things right now. So since I finished the Scorpio races on audiobook, I have started, I was about to say Darker Shade of Magic, but I mean the second book in that series, A Gathering of Shadows, on audiobook. I'm like 60 pages in, just barely. But when I went for a run the other day, I listened to that a little bit. And I'm really excited to be getting back into that world and those characters. The 3rd book, Conjuring of Light, just came out last week and I'm really excited to read it. But I want to get the fullest experience from reading the last book, so I want to read the 2nd book again. So that's what I'm doing with the audiobook. And then physically, I've been continuing to read the Exiled Queen, which is the 2nd book in the Demon King or 7 Realms series, and that's going well. I'm like a little over 100 pages. I haven't read in a couple days, so I don't really have too much to update you guys on other than the fact that I'm enjoying it. I guess in a way maybe I'm enjoying it less than the last book, because I feel like the last book I was just like dying to read it all the time, and I'm not feeling like that right now. But I honestly think that's just because I'm really busy and doing stuff. Some of you might know that I'm in the middle of planning a wedding, and I'm like kind of behind on things that I should be doing for that. So I think this weekend I'm gonna make sure I take some time to take care of some wedding things. I'm going out of town in a couple weeks, and if I don't get the stuff done before I go out of town, it's not gonna get done, and it's like late, and I just need to set aside some time to work on some stuff for the wedding. So I don't know, it might be kind of a light reading week. We'll see. But I'll check in with you guys either sometime this weekend if I have something that I'm dying to tell you about my current reads. Otherwise, I'll just see you on Monday morning when I wrap up what I read over the weekend. So I'll check in with you later. Good morning, bookworms. It is Monday morning and I'm on my way to work, and it's time to wrap up my week. I think this is week 9. Reading wrap up, whatever week it is. So I had a really busy week last week and I didn't read very much. I think this is mostly just that I have been really busy. Like, I don't think this is like an impending reading slump, because I still feel like reading. I just have been really tired. I don't know, I guess there are a few times where I could have chosen to read and I chose not to and watch TV instead. But again, I think that's just because I'm tired and I just wanted to like veg out. So I didn't get a lot of reading done this week, but I think I've just been busy and just not super in a reading mood, but I'm not too worried about it at the same time. I don't know, does that happen to you guys when I'm like not reading a lot? I like worry that I'm getting into a reading slump, which I'm sure doesn't really help you to get into a reading mood. Maybe it's just that I have like a lot of anxiety and I'm not reading. I'm like, oh my god, am I getting into a reading slump? And I tried to like figure out what is going on. So let me tell you about the little bit of reading I have been doing. I have been continuing to read the Demon King. No, that's the first book, The Exiled Queen. I'm surprisingly 200 pages in, and I say surprising because I don't feel like a whole lot has happened. So at the end of the first book, the 2 like main characters are basically leaving where they were for like most of the first book to like go to this other place, and really like first 150, I don't know, at 200 pages, they are both finally in their new location. So like the first big chunk of the book, I guess almost half of it, I'm like, I think it's like 38% that I'm at, is spent traveling, and I think that to me made it feel like it was a little slow, because I didn't realize I was 200 pages in until I went to go do my Goodreads update last night, and I was like, whoa, I'm already like almost halfway through the book. And I don't feel like a whole lot has happened, but I also think it was like necessary to show how they got from one place to the other and all the things that happened to them on the way. But now they're like in the same city, and I'm super excited about that because I want their paths to cross, because their paths only cross for like a very short amount of time in the first book, and I'm really interested to see what happens when they like come together and like recognize each other. So I think things in that book are going really well, even though I feel like maybe it's a little bit slower because of all the traveling that's been happening. I haven't really been bored. Like, I've been interested in what's happening and, you know, wanting to read when I feel like reading. So I don't know, I don't think it's really a detriment. It's just something that I noticed, if that makes any sense. I'm continuing to listen to A Gathering of Shadows on audiobook. I actually listened to it for like 40-ish minutes on Saturday because I ran in a 5K that I signed up through work. I even got a medal. It's like right here. I have it hanging on my mirror right now. For those of you who don't know, I don't run a lot. This is my third 5K that I've ever run, but I recently signed up for a half marathon because I thought it would be a cool thing to do, and I'm in the middle of training, so a lot of my audiobook reading time right now is while I'm training for that half marathon. And I have to run for like an hour and 20 minutes tonight, so I'll probably be listening to more of A Gathering of Shadows. And actually, I think I have the audiobook from the library, and I think I only have like 4 or 5 more days, and I'm not that far into it, so I need to kick that into gear because I don't want that to go back to the library before I'm done with it, because I'm sure there's going to be a wait before I could get it back. I really want to read A Conjuring of Light, and I have it in my possession, so yeah, I really need to make that a priority over this next week. Alright, so that is everything that I have been reading since my last check-in. It's been a pretty light reading week, unfortunately, but I'm sure that won't last. Sometimes when I start reading less, like I have in this last week, after a week or two, then I just really miss reading, and I always go back to it. So, like I said, I'm not too worried about it. If you've read any of these books, comment down below so we can talk about them. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. That's all I have for now, so until next time, bookworms, keep reading. Bye! So let me tell you a little bit about the little reading, I don't do a lot of runs. Oh, that's my medal. If you've read any of these books, please be sure, bye!